Hey everybody, this is Anthrax817 here, and today I'm going to show you this signature that I made. It was for a signature of the week on a different forum. Well, of course YouTube doesn't have forums, I don't think, but yeah, it was for a sci-fi futuristic theme. And this is what I came up with. I ended up winning. That's about it. So I guess let's get started. First off, I took this render, as you can see here. It's pretty large. It's a huge render, but yeah. So I pasted it in over here without resizing it, and I just picked a nice focal for more focus. And then I started adding abstract C4Ds, and the C4D that I used is in the pack that I'm going to give in the description. And I used this one over and over. It seemed to fit decently, but just added in that C4D, added it in again, and again. Then I added in an effect C4D, and I just put it on screen 100%, and the effect C4D that I used is also in the pack. It's right here. As you can see, I didn't really have to edit the colors on it at all, so it's always nice. Then I added in the actual render that I'd be using, and as you can see with the render placement before, I have this her core, I guess, as kind of like a light source behind her, which is nice. And then I added more C4Ds in, like down here, to try to help blend the render in more. Then I duplicated that layer, flipped it, and erased it to kind of blend it in more, because as you can see, if I unhide that other C4D layer, it's right here, where I erased it, blended in more together. Then I added the text, and for the preservation text I just added a gradient map, drop, shadow, stroke, all that nice stuff. And then for self, I added the drop shadow, an outer glow, and a stroke. And I added a clipping mask where her core was. As you can see, it's kind of lighter right there, then it's just orange everywhere else. Then I added in the same effect C4D earlier, just to try to give her a little aura around her or something. And then I started adding in the bubble C4D. And this bubble C4D, all you have to do to get it to the color that you want is you go to Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation. And you can just play around with it right here. Just make it any color that you want, or any color that you don't want. I don't care what you do with it. So after that, there's one bubble C4D, just adds over here and over here. And I use this same layer a few times. Looks like to be about 4. And then I started adding adjustment layers. And the first gradient map I did was a black and white gradient map on luminosity 60%. Helps give more depth to it, it looks like, with the shadows and the lights. And then I added in a curves layer to try to darken it up a bit. Added another gradient map on orange to white soft light. Just adds a little bit of orange color to it. Then I added a photo filter, an orange photo filter on 25% on normal. It just adds a little bit more orange to it. Then I added my topaz clean layer, and you can see it makes it a little bit sharper up here and over here, and it just makes the signature look nice. Then I did the same burn and dodge as I do in every signature with the rectangular marquee tool. You highlight it, right click, fill with 50% gray, and then you set it to overlay and you do your burn and dodge, and it just turns out a lot nicer that way, I think. And then for this, to try to blend in with the signature better, I used a soft brush with some orange and set the layer to color 34% to try to just blend that in more, and a little bit up here, so it's not like 3 or 4 different shades of orange. Then I added a high pass filter on soft light 85%, and I used 8 pixels, and as you can see, it just sharpens up the signature really nice. I prefer using high pass over sharpen just because I think it looks a lot better. Then I added in another gradient map, black and white, to multiply, because without this it's fairly bright, so I think it darkens it up a bit and makes it look nice. Added in a lighting effects layer to try to get more focus on her face instead of everything else, and it turned out pretty nice. And for the final layer, I just put a stroke on it with an orange border. You could use any color that you want, really. But I hope you guys like the signature tutorial. I'm going to try to upload every Friday. And thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See ya.